Hi everyone, welcome back to another trading day. I'm Johan Milan, and today, Wednesday, 7 February 2024. My trade directions for today will be long on the US dollar, the New Zealand and the yen, short on the euro, the pound and the Australian dollar. My first pick of the day is a potential short on the euro yen. But before we proceed, remember that trading carries risk and never trade with money you cannot afford to lose. And at the end of this video, I'll show you my favorite trade idea for today. So let's get started turning pips and points into profits. On the euro yen, euro really now the black sheep of the market. Yen still pushing, quite surprisingly, staying strong up there. So I would like still to short euro yen when it gets back to that area there. I'm not going to trade at these levels. I would still like to see on this big swing here, the Fibonacci retracement to almost 61%. If it can test that area there, that market structure there, I will then get interested in some shorts. Then on the Euro CAD, we've successfully traded on the 1 hour charts, the sideways range. I'm still, you can see here, Euro, still the black sheep, CAD strong in the mid ranges there, but comparing it to the Euro, it's definitely much stronger than the euro. So shorting the euro CAD would be ideal for me if it can retrace as much as that. If it breaks down to a new low, I will then find new levels tomorrow and so on. But for today, while trading in this range, I'm still interested in a potential retracement up there and then look for some shorts. Then, as I've explained to you, the next four, New Zealand and the Aussie, these four pairs, all doing the same thing. Slight differences, but not that much. So that's why it's so important, especially when you trade a lot of the crosses, not to overexpose yourself on cross-currency pairs. Right? You must consider your currency risk, and when I gave these trades, I warned you against the potential of all of them doing the same thing, either failing or all of them making the money. 100% nice when it makes the money, but when they fail, we tend to be very emotional and feel a little bit despondent. But if you manage your risk well enough that you do not lose an arm and a leg when these things fail, then you are fine. So New Zealand had sudden renewed strength. New Zealand was in the bottoms here. It was the last currency I thought would go up. Early this morning it was number one. Now it's, well, still pushing number one, but it's at number two. It's fighting the dollar actually, and the dollar is tremendously strong. Right, so the dollar yesterday retested the 89 moving average on the daily charts, but it should find support there and keep going up. So the dollar is still very strong there. New Zealand pushing hard. So the New Zealand Swiss short that I gave there outright just failed. It's just an absolute full loss. It was a Monday morning trade, which a Monday afternoon trade for that matter. Wasn't bad, the level didn't hold, and a full loss for myself. Now, it shouldn't be a full 1% loss. What I mean by a full loss means whatever I risked here was a full loss for me on that. I didn't get a trailing stop loss. But you can see here, New Zealand Swiss, Aussie yen, this is the exception a little bit, but Aussie Swiss rallying, New Zealand yen rallying. You can see how they do all the same thing. Always remember the correlation between the New Zealand and the Australian dollar. 90%, 95% of the time, they do the same thing. They've moved a little bit apart now. You can see that New Zealand is way up there and the Aussie down here, which is a bit weird in general, but they will catch up shortly. They will catch up shortly. Right, so this trade is then closed on the New Zealand Swiss. In the Aussie yen, still we got the Aussie way weaker than the yen, so I'm still comfortable with this. We got the trade last Friday. There was no option of another entry. A little bit of a spike there, but not something I would have traded. Still on the underside of that resistance level. You can see how the Aussie, much weaker than the New Zealand. This is the only one that didn't run to stop loss. And we trailed the stop loss, so very nicely done. You got the entry there and there, trailed the stop loss from up there to there. So you got much less risk left and staying there. So I'm still keen on this. I'm still, if you're not on a short here, it's still acceptable to take a short on some strong candle reversals here. Aussie, yen, 100% fine. Aussie Swiss is also, you can see Aussie, same as all the other Aussies and the New Zealand. The short was up there and just ran through to the stop, hitting a full loss. No chance of even trailing the stop loss. Again, you can see how they all do the same thing. It's a very good skill to develop in your trading, to understand correlations between currencies, and especially the New Zealand and the Aussie. They are I think it's one of the most highly correlated currencies in the world. And then the New Zealand yen, you can see another New Zealand. Right, with a sudden strength on the New Zealand last night, obviously it flew up. We did trade there. You had the option to get in on the halfway mark there. We trailed the stop loss from there down to there, and so you got it. Basically another loss. So 3 losses in a row with one still open. You can see how terrible 3 losses in a row would be if you have full positions on them all. Yes, when they would have worked, you would have made a ton of money, but when they fail, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. So that's why it's so important to consider cross-currency risk. Very, very important. Right, but with the New Zealand yen now so close to each other, trend still looks bearish here, but I see renewed strength in it. I'm going to step aside from it today, and I'll see on a later stage. I'll remove it from my watch list for today. Then the Euro Swiss. Yesterday I gave you this level, closed a little bit above it, touched the 61, which was amazing, and a nice evening star. This is not a bearish engulfing, because the black candle should wrap around a medium or a long white candle. It didn't. So it's an evening star, long white, small body, and then close below the halfway mark of this. This is an evening star. So it's time to get into shorts here. And I would say on the close and the halfway mark of the black candle, and start out with a stop loss up on those highs. At least 10 pips or so. If you look from the close there, you see that's 20, it's about 35 to 40 pips. Let's call it a 40 pip risk. So we need a lot, at least 60 and more. So down to this lows is 40. If you can get the halfway mark there, that'll give you a stop loss of about 30, 35. So that gives you a 50 pip target there for a T1. So first target, if you can get the halfway mark, that'll give you a 1 to 1.5, and then the rest we can push through. So something here as a target, and then the one that I really, really like, if I put the Fibonacci up there, you can see here the 1.27. This is the one really like this, nicely at support levels. You can even lift it slightly higher to say, let me pick up that recent levels there. But this is the area here to get some targets. All right, so if you're lucky enough that it breaks down, get a little bit of a T1 there, close something, half the position, and then let the rest run through to the 1.27. I will not push for the 1.618. That's a complete new low. The chances of that happening is most of the time small, and if it happens, we'll just have another trade. But that'll be enough profits in those targets for us. Then the Aussie CAD, Aussie there, CAD there, getting a little bit close to each other, but I'll leave it on my watch list for today, same as the previous days. This last swing, the 50 to 61% retracement at market structure there, I'll get interested in some shorts. Pound New Zealand, now this swing here, the retracement, you can see pound with a strong New Zealand. I would love to be short pound and long New Zealand. This is a perfect opportunity. If it can retrace us back to that 61% at structure there, I'll get interested in some shorts if I can get some strong candle reversals up there. In the pound US, big fall down the page. Pound down there, almost the weakest. Dollar's the strongest still, so I would love to be short here. So this is the area you can see here, support, and there's a lot of support coming in there, but I selected the 50% level on the swings, on the Fibonacci there. So I would love to see a retest there with a strong candle reversal, then I'll consider some shorts. Aussie US busy forming a little bit of a flag pattern. I still want to be short Aussie there in the red zone, US still in the green zone. So if I can get this to break through here, at least break this sort of consolidation pattern. I'm not after the flag, I'm after the consolidation, and then the break, the retest, and then a strong candle reversal. Yes, that's something I can do and look for some shorts. Other than that, I would not do any retracements higher than this, especially with the New Zealand running up so strong. You know, the Aussie might follow the New Zealand, or the New Zealand might come back to the Aussie. So if the Aussie breaks through here, then I'm fine. That confirms a lot. But shorting on a retracement, the Aussie with the New Zealand as strong as that, I would be hesitant. Brent oil, Also a little bit of a consolidation period. So you saw a strong run down the page, consolidation. So I would like to see a little bit of a strong break, and then a retest of this rising wedge, just the consolidation pattern, and then a strong candle reversal after it retest that confirms the level. You can see in the history here how the resistance, a little bit of an overshoot, resistance, support. A little bit of a support resistance coming in there, another resistance there. So the $79 levels is very strong. So we'll see on the break and the retest and a candle reversal. That's definitely something on a strong dollar to look at if you want to short a commodity. In the US Swiss, with the dollar still all the sparkle, Swiss a little bit neutral in general, but much weaker than the dollar. So comparing it to the dollar, I would be long here. It means I'm short Swiss, long dollar. So the only level I can find here is right at the 50% level. It's a resistance level. You can see even in the history, which doesn't count anymore because the market did ignored it here, but it came back into existence here. So if I'm lucky enough that it retraces back down there, I'll look for some long setups. In the Swiss yen, if you look at the Swiss there and the yen getting suspiciously close to each other, and all in all a little bit of a sideways here. So I need to get a strong reversal at the 61% layer, right at market structure coming in there, and enough for a target down on these lows, at least 1 to 1.5, because this is a tremendously strong level down here. You can see here. So I would need at least a 1 to 1.5 risk reward down here before I will enter any trade there. If it's getting too close to each other, I would step aside. At this stage, I leave it on my watch list. I'm not that keen yet because of the sideways range. But as I said, if I can get a 1 hour or 4 hour trade, doesn't matter, at least as my stop loss, and my risk reward then gives me a 1 to 1.5, then I'll be fine because this is the sideways range. But the moment I need to get beyond these lows to get to a 1 to 1.5 risk reward at least, I'll step aside. Then my favorite trade idea for today is the potential short on the Euro New Zealand. But first, if you are new to this channel and find this video helpful, you can support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so I can keep making content like this, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to ensure you don't miss out on any of my videos. Now on the Euro New Zealand, well, it's quite obvious why it's my special. We had a little bit of a bearish swings coming in here, like a flag pattern. I'm not after the flag pattern again, I'm after the consolidation. You can see here how the market now could not push. You can see how the market pushed to new high, fails to make a new high, and then makes a new low, taking out virtually all these lows. So I like this. Now the retest on the last swing, 50 to 61% level, is right at the support level. And also something I'll watch is the retest of the consolidation area here of the flag pattern. So this is the two areas I will watch. And you can see here, Euro, the black sheep of the market for now. And the New Zealand, well, almost got all the sparkle, almost stole the sparkle earlier this morning from the dollar. So for the New Zealand to fight the dollar, it must be very, very, very strong. And because the dollar is tremendously strong at present. So this is why it's my favorite setup. There's a lot of technical analysis coming together in one place here. Flag retest, Fibonacci levels, definitely the Euro New Zealand on the RS side, one of the better ones. And that's why I made that my favorite one for today. But trading, guys, isn't just about my insights. I want to hear from you. Drop your questions, share your experiences, or tell me which trading opportunities you're eyeing in the comments below. I've been trading since 2003, and if you are eager to take your trading skills to the next level, check out the link in the description to join my mentorship program and support this channel by opening a trading account with a trusted broker from the link below, which I've been using since 2010. Thank you for joining me today on this trading journey. Don't forget to trade responsibly, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Until then, trade well.